What's up, everyone? I'm back. This is part three of. Well, I haven't figured out a title for this one yet. Um, this one seems to go in a little bit of every direction, but I'm trying to tell a singular story, and I'm trying to tell it in a way that makes, perfect sense. So, um, as I was saying before, uh, she was someone who was very outgoing, a very likable person, very popular, but it wasn't her true self. She was putting on a front for people to accept her, so she wouldn't feel alone anymore. Um, her mom kept her away from everything, and she didn't want to just live the rest of her life doing whatever her mom tells her to do. She wanted to do what she wants to do. And so that was how she behaved. But whenever she was around me, she felt like she didn't have to do all those things. She could just be herself. And like I said, whenever we were alone, uh, she would just be herself. This person that other people see, the way she behaves and stuff, she never acts like that when she's alone with me. You know what I mean? And it's not because I'm changing her. No, this is how she actually is. But like I said, I used to talk to her. She used to tell me things. She used to tell me why she was doing the stuff that she was doing. She would actually tell me. So that's what I'm saying. I understood her better than other people, man. Sometimes they would see her chasing after a boy or something and they think she's just a fast girl. She's just being grown. When that is true, technically that is true. But at the same time, this is an 11, 12-year-old girl. She doesn't understand that she's naive. She doesn't understand that, man. She's young. She wants to have fun. So, um, yeah, like I said, when she started telling me more about herself, we had started to become closer. I had started telling her things about myself as well, and that was basically how it worked. All the way up until that last moment when we got ourselves into a bit in trouble and we weren't allowed to hang out with each other anymore. We weren't allowed to be friends anymore. So, like I said before, sometimes I see her around in school, but it wasn't the same. So, my sister is still dating my friend Eddie at this point, and he eventually, finally started to come to our house again. So that definitely made me happy. But like I said, everybody liked Eddie, man. All the kids, all the adults, everyone. So as some time goes on, uh, unspecified. I can't say exactly how much time passed on because this was a very long time ago. I don't remember exactly how much time this was. I was only a little boy. So time had went on, and uh, my sister was the type of girl that liked bad boys, street cats. Eddie was not one of them. She was getting bored with him. So she met this guy who just so happened to have the same name as me. He was a dancer, did not like him. He lived in the same neighborhood Siobhan lived in. And he would come around there pop locking and dancing. I used to want to trip him. He looked like a clown, bro. I did like him. All the girls liked him. But it didn't seem like many of the guys in the neighborhood liked him. Not because we were hating on him, but because he was arrogant. He was like he was a pretty boy. He thought he was too pretty to act like other men. It seemed like, I don't know, bro. It was like he thought he was better than us or something, man. It was really weird, bro. And he was a teenager, so you know how that goes. Teenage pretty boy, oh yeah, you can't talk to them about nothing. They're too pretty for you. Whereas, anyway, I'm not going to go there. Every time I think of it, I really don't like him. I never really liked the guy, bro. And a lot of girls were crushing on him and stuff. And my sister was one of the girls that was crushing on this dude. This guy that pops locks all day. I didn't understand, bro. I really didn't understand. So, this dude had a Jerry curl and everything, bro. I'm telling you, man, I didn't understand what girls saw in him, bro. This dude had extra grease in his head. You could fry a whole chicken, bro. This dude was a clown, you hear me? So, my sister started crushing on him while she's still with Eddie, right? And then, I guess at some point, the pop locker and dancer, my sister must have had some type of encounter with him. She had a conversation with him. And she started to like him even more. Do you know she actually broke up with Eddie and started hanging out with this guy? So, like I said, Eddie's one of my closest friends. And he's my best friend's uncle. So I know him very well. He did not deserve this. I was pissed about it, man. I thought that was wrong, man. So, anyway, that happened. She broke up with Eddie. She started hanging out with this guy. And I remember I asked her, what the hell is wrong with you? Why would you dump Eddie like that? And then you dumped Eddie for all people. This guy, this clown right here, me and him, this guy knew I did not like him, bro. You know what I mean? I didn't hide it. I wasn't scared of him either. I'm like, why you hang with this dude, bro? This dude is gonna break your heart, man. You understand? You shouldn't be seen with him. My sister wouldn't listen to me. She still liked the guy. She didn't want to hang with Eddie anymore. I told her she was stupid. So, more time goes on. My sister is still hanging out with this guy, Al. Eddie is very upset. He's not hanging out with us as much anymore. It was a shame because he had just started coming to our house again, only for her to do that crap, and now he stopped coming to our house yet again. And I only see him outside on the streets or if I go to his house. You know what I mean? So, like I said, naturally I felt some type of way. I wasn't really feeling it too much. So, like I said, time was going on, and my sister started to see what I was talking about with this guy. Um, she started to realize that this guy really was a horrible person, bro. Cause I kept telling her that she needs to stay away from him. She shouldn't be hanging with that guy. Um, Once she realized what I had been saying, she eventually stopped hanging out with him. And I'm not sure what he thought. Maybe he thought it was because of me that she stopped hanging out with him, but he wasn't very happy about it. So this guy decided to do something very, very horrible. He was wrong. He was wrong, just as wrong as my sister was for what he did next. But what he did was he decided he wants to go hang out with my ex-girlfriend, Siobhan, because she was most likely one of the many girls who had been crushing on him. And he knew it. And guess what? His idea worked like a charm. She started hanging out. Now she's hanging out with him. But she at first did not know about him and my sister. She eventually finds out. Now her and my sister are beefing. So this just turned into a really nasty situation really quickly because of him. Toxic behavior. Because even though I knew that she did not know about his and my sister's relationship, I still felt some type of way. It was just like, damn, what about me? I know we haven't seen each other in a long time. We're not allowed to hang out with each other anymore. And yeah, I know that was my fault. I should have thought about what I was doing a little bit more before I did it. I'd still be able to hang out with you. But come on, not this. Not this, yo. And I remember I was hanging out with one of the kids in the neighborhood one day. And he also lived in the same apartment building. This is a big, this building is like a tower. Like it has like 20 something floors. It's an apartment building. So there's a lot of people who live in this building. So it must has about 200 apartments at the very least. There are a lot of apartments in that building. So I was over there one day hanging out with one of the kids in the neighborhood. And because I knew almost everybody, you know what I mean? This guy wasn't one of my closest friends. We were just hanging out. We were outside playing, talking and stuff. and we went inside to his house. I think he wanted to get something to drink or something. I remember exactly why we went inside of his house. But when we went in his house, Siobhan was there. She was in this guy's house. I guess she knows his family, and she was hanging out with them, paying them a visit for whatever reason. It was a strange coincidence. She was standing in the living room. She was pregnant. She was pregnant by this guy, Al, my sister's ex-boyfriend. And she was standing there looking at me, and I could just see the look on her face. I could see the guilt in her eyes, bro. She couldn't even speak to me. She could barely look at me. I could barely look at her. It was an awkward moment. I didn't say nothing to her. She didn't speak to me either. The guy that I was hanging with, he came back out of his room. He was like, "You ready, bro?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm ready." And I left. That was the last time I seen her. That up in personal, that was the last time I seen her. Never saw her again after this day. It was, and the last time I did speak a word to her. I wish I did, but I didn't say nothing to her this day, man. I was disappointed, bro. Like, bro, I used to think about marrying you. That's what I was thinking. Like, damn, yo, like, you're gonna. Sucks, man. Life goes on, I guess. So anyway, more time goes on. She has his baby. I heard about it in school and stuff. How she had a baby by him. Again, I didn't approach her about it or anything. I never said anything to her. So around this time, it had been years that going on at this point, about a couple of years. She had the baby and everything, and she was actually pregnant again. It had been quite some time that went on, and as a matter of fact, we even moved. This was after we moved out of the haunted house. We lived on the other side of the bridge now. No, actually, we lived on the same block as her. I forgot. We moved into a house that's on the same block where Siobhan lived. She lived in the apartment building. And then, but we didn't stay there long. After that, that was when we moved on the other side of the bridge. About a year later or so. Yeah, because I think that was around the time she had the baby. If my memory serves me correctly, I'm sorry, this was a long time ago and there was a lot of things happening all at once. So, like I said, we had moved and everything. And my mom wasn't well. Like I said before, even at this point, she is still depressed about my dead father. She's still missing him. She's drinking more and more and more now. And it was getting to the point where she just couldn't take care of us anymore. So we ended up getting sent to Virginia to live with my aunt. And once we reached Virginia, I would say about 4 months or so had passed since we had been here, living in Virginia. And I'm missing everybody, man. You know, I'm missing my older sister. My older sister did not come with us. She wanted to stay there. She was like living with a friend or something. I don't know. I'm not really sure. But And she was at that age where she was just making her own decisions now. You know what I mean? My mom doesn't really tell her what to do anymore. She just kind of does whatever she wants. So, like I said, my mom wasn't well anyway. So, some time had went on. I started going to a new school. I started making new friends. And then a couple of weeks after my birthday had passed, I get a phone call from my oldest sister in New Jersey. And she was like, "You might want to sit down." I said, "What are you talking about?" She was like, "Trust me, bro, you might want to sit down." So I went in my room, I shut the door, and I sat down on my bed. My sister told me that Siobhan had been shot to death. She was shot 6 times. The guy, Al, who she was actually pregnant by, shot her 6 times, killed her. She realized he was a horrible person, the same way my sister did, and she decided to leave him. He tracked her down, he found her, he took her into a park, and he raped her. He shot her 6 times, killed her. Yes, that happened. Uh, I had just turned 16. It was funny to me, man. The day I met her was right after my birthday. And now I find out she's dead right after my birthday. I can't even make this up, bro. My life has been nothing short of miraculous and weird. Just outright strange, man. Strange coincidences. So, like I said, I found out the news. This wasn't the same for a long time, man. I didn't really want to hang out with my new friends anymore. I wasn't really doing my schoolwork. I wasn't eating much. I just kind of just sit in my room all day. I was depressed, man. And then we moved again. We moved to the west side of Richmond. And I still wasn't getting better. In fact, I was getting worse. Now I won't come out of my room at all. Unless I'm going to off to school, I would not come out of my room at all. I wouldn't speak with anyone. You know, like there was a few girls in the neighborhood crushing on me. They would like get my number from my sister. Some of them would call me. They would like be trying to have a conversation with me. I hang up on them. I was mean, bro. I didn't want to be talking to them. I didn't want to be seen with them. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to die. I wanted to find a reason to live. I can't explain it. I was looking for any reason to actually want to live at this point. I was hoping someone would give me that. I would just sit in my room all day trying to figure it out. And I eventually started having anxiety attacks. And my aunt thought I was on drugs. She took me to a hospital. And then she even assigned me a therapist. She thought I was going crazy just because I sit in my room all day. What do you think is going to happen? I was a 16-year-old boy whose ex-girlfriend had been shot to death. I never experienced anything like this. She wasn't just my ex-girlfriend. This is someone I practically, you know what I mean, I told secrets to. This person told secrets to me. This was someone I knew very well. This is someone I was actually close with. The reason why we didn't hang out anymore was circumstance. We didn't fall out or anything. Yeah, I was upset she was hanging out with this guy. I wanted her to stay away from him. Yeah, you could say I was a little bit jealous, but that wasn't why I wanted her to stay away from him. I wanted to stay away from him because he was not a nice guy. And I knew it. That's why I was telling my sister to stay away from him. He decided to be petty and go off and date my ex-girlfriend. He wanted to piss off me and my sister. Grimy, dirty. He's a piece of dung. This is someone you should never hang with. Even as a friend, you don't hang with a person like this, man. This guy is going to be trembling in darkness very soon because he led a sinful life. Every day I was thinking about how I just want to rip this guy in pieces. Like I said, when I was 11 years old, this is around the same time my uncle had started teaching me martial arts. My uncle started teaching me martial arts, and this was around the time where I met her. I met Siobhan. I told you, everything was happening at the same time, man. And I remember my uncle, when he first started training me, how I wouldn't take it serious. I would laugh, I would play and stuff, and one time he tiger palmed me. That's deadly technique, by the way. He tiger palmed me in the gut and knocked me out cold. That is a very deadly technique. You can actually kill somebody. Luckily, my uncle is a master. He knows what he's doing. He didn't want to kill me. He wanted to humble me because I was playing around too much, man. He wanted me to understand and learn so I could protect myself. I might need this one day. You never know. And like I said, I had been depressed. Some time had went on. And I would sit in my room all day by myself. This is when I started remembering my training with my uncle. And I started training again by myself. I took it way more serious this time. And I just kept training. I've been training ever since. Even now, I still train. I had been training martial arts for almost 30 years, man. Blows me away that it's been that long. I can't believe it's been that long. But yeah, I started training again by myself. I started learning forms that my uncle did not teach me. I started becoming really good at it, man. The more time goes on, the better I get at it seems, man. Even at my old age, man. There's some stuff I can't do anymore because I'm old, man, but I'm still very capable. Do not mess with me. Don't want to sleep. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to sound like a tough guy, but I had started training again because I was thinking about this guy out. I wanted to rip him in pieces. I wanted to get my hands on him really bad. Even now, when I think about him, I want to rip him in pieces, bro. This guy decided he wanted to be petty, bro. He even took a life. A narcissist. Who does that? Who shoots a 16-year-old girl 6 times, bro? Are you out of your mind? This girl has a baby. A little baby sitting there. What's wrong with you, bro? And that baby just so happened to be your baby, too. Oh, and by the way, I forgot. Um, at this point, I think this guy was like eight. How old was this guy, bro? I can't remember, man. I think he was already, if I'm not mistaken, now that I think about it, this guy wasn't a teenager. He was actually an adult. He was a guy in his 20s, man. I forgot all about this, man. So even when he was dating my sister, he was dating an underage girl, bro. I was telling her to stay away from him. I didn't like him, bro. Wow. I wanted to tell Siobhan the same thing, but the way things happened between me and her, that last time I saw her, I was just so disappointed. I couldn't say anything to her, bro. And I could tell that she felt what I was feeling, bro. I didn't have to say it. And she couldn't even look at me. And yeah, that guy, he went to prison apparently. If I'm not mistaken, he's still in prison. I always hope that he actually gets out, bro. You know what I mean? I was wanting revenge, but now I've repented. I'm a different man. I don't think about getting revenge on him anymore. But up until recently, actually, for all these years, I've been seeking to get revenge on this guy. I've been getting better and better at martial arts, just in case I get a chance to rip this guy in pieces. I will make sure he doesn't stand a chance. Bro, you don't want to see me, bro. You made a mistake. And even now, man, I'm not seeking revenge, man. I actually forgive him. But I think I actually would challenge him to a fist fight, bro. We're men. We don't carry guns over here. You like to shoot little girls? How about throwing hands with a grown man? Let's see how strong you really are. You must have had some big muscles in your trigger finger to pull a stunt like that. Is that correct? But anyway, a couple of years later, um, a couple of years ago, Eddie had passed away. He died in his sleep from diabetic shock. He died in his bedroom alone. And I felt like I started going on a quest for revenge again at this point, because now it's like I feel like he should not have died alone like that. I felt like my sister should have been by his side. This should have been her. This guy should be her husband right now. But this guy end up dying alone because my sister decided to run off with this guy Al instead of him. The same guy who killed my girlfriend, bro. That guy, the same exact guy, bro. And I was wanting revenge again. I was just wanting revenge, man, on somebody. I told my when I saw my sister, I, I uh, well actually when she called me first. I had told her that I kind of felt like this was her fault, but yeah, that happened, man. She you know, then she said, well, she had stayed with him, they would have been a power couple. That made me mad. This isn't a popularity contest. What are you talking about? That was my friend. How you doing?